Gets a little cat talk here on 560 as the Panthers are going to be back in action tomorrow against the Seattle Kraken. And Cat Talk brought to you by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. And one of the young sensations on this year's Panthers squad is Mackie Samoskevich joining us here on the program. A fellow Michigan Wolverine, Leroy Horde.
Right. I tell you what, they've been better at hockey more consistently than the football team.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Yeah. It's a good spot. Great spot. I miss it.
What made you want to go to Michigan, Mackie? What was the process of becoming a Wolverine?
I was thinking about originally just staying home, close to home. Both my sisters went to Quinnipiac, so I was thinking about staying close to home, and then I went out for a visit. They took me to a football game, and
that's it.
That's all I needed to see. So I'm glad I did it. It was best 2 years of my life, I think, so far. So I loved it.
When I went to Michigan, I didn't go to a football game.
You gotta. That's a bucket list thing you gotta do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he got a couple experiences there afterwards.
Yeah, I got a couple. But so while Michigan's it's like wide open, friendly.
Yeah.
Like you could literally go to school with somebody and never even there's so many people there.
Yeah.
Like it's really big.
Every week. It's great. Everyone's so nice. One thing I loved about it was it was that college campus feel. Right. Everyone kind of knew everybody, and when you got that going, everyone's enjoying time with each other, and you get to know new people. It's really good for a young person like I was.
Maggie, we were talking a little bit, obviously, with the Four Nations and the Kachuk brothers making as much noise as they did into a lot of great sports siblings. And you have this with your sisters. Your sisters all played hockey. Your father got you all into this. So, was that not a choice as soon as you guys could pick up a stick? He's getting you and pushing you out on the rink. How was it growing up in such a hockey household?
Yeah, my dad was the one who kind of got us into it. He was the one who played. He loved the game. He had it on TV when we were kids. Every weekend we were Rangers fans, so we'd watch them all the time. And like you said, it was kind of like I had two best friends just to go play hockey with every day. I don't think a lot of people get to do that. Obviously Chucky got to do that with his brother, and it was so much fun. I'm definitely lucky to have them. Just every morning going out there shooting pucks or whatever, doing little competitions and stuff like that. It was a blast, and it's definitely nice having them.
Go ahead, Leroy.
Being from the north, right? And just having ice sports be a part of your life for 6 months of the year, regardless. Are you shocked at how many kids down here are into hockey? It is unbelievable the amount in warm weather places that there's a hockey, a youth hockey programs and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's gotten better over the years. I think people are starting to realize how great of a game we're playing is. I think, the Panthers over the last couple of years have definitely helped with that. With how good they've done and how many, unreal players they have here. It's so fun to watch. Even before I was here, just watching them, I was a big fan. It's so fun to watch, and so I think they had a big say in that, and I think like I said, people are starting to realize that it's a really fun sport, and you can go play roller hockey, or you can go get on the ice. There's multiple ways you can do it, so it's a lot of fun.
What was your mindset coming into this season, Maggie? Because obviously the Panthers have their championship run last year. You got a little stint with them, but full blown now this year. So did you wonder, is a defending champion going to need me, or was it just a matter of it kind of just came along naturally? What was your mindset coming into this year before providing as much spark as you have for the Cats this year?
Yeah, I mean, it was just finding a way to help this team win was my mindset. Like, it was like I knew I had confidence in myself that I was good enough to play in the NHL and do great there. And at the start of the year, obviously, it was a little bit of a learning curve. Being young, you don't know the league. Obviously, so many good players in this league. It's the best league in the world for a reason. So, I knew there was going to be good games and bad games. And I think when I had bad games, it was just a good thing almost. Like it was a learning thing for me, and I think it's helped me today that don't do this or do this better. Stuff like that. It really starts to add up, and once that happens, you get a lot of confidence, and I'm playing with house money now.
Do you feel like from your standpoint, like there's obviously a lot of the vets who are going to be big providers, but like you look at like a guy like Lundell who was so young last year and key to that. Like, do you lean on almost guys your age, like Spencer Knight being on a big stage early on? Like the Panthers will believe in you no matter at what age it is if they feel like they can help you win. You can help them win.
Yeah, I agree. Lundy's been a huge help for me. He's went through what I've gone through. Being a young guy in this league and learning how to, play the game the right way. And he's obviously a guy that plays the right way, plays great defensively, and obviously can do his thing offensively. And, he's definitely a guy I look up to just because, of his age and of how dialed in he is, everywhere.
Is it so my mistake is the first hockey game I ever went to was a Red Wings game.
Mm-hmm.
So watching that hockey and then really liking it, because hockey live is unlike any other sport. Yeah. You don't get the same feel on TV.
Yeah.
So then I started going to Michigan games.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what's the transition like? Because it's not as physical and it's a little different. So when you get to the NHL, are you taken back by how much more physical it is?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like, guys are bigger. I think one thing was they were way smarter. Like, they knew how to, take away space from me quicker, or, read what I'm doing before I knew what I was doing. It was a bit of a transition. You could kind of get away with some things in college, but not here. Like, they're so smart, and, you really have to learn, how to beat guys and how to create space. And, once you learn that, it's, the sky's the limit, I think.
How did you take in this Four Nations tournament? You had so many teammates dispersed throughout the entire thing, basically half of Finland's team. You see Benny be huge last night. Matthews obviously making a lot of noise throughout all of it. So as an American, were you rooting for USA, or did you find yourself torn because when Bennett's tying things up last night, you're like, all right, we got teammates doing good too. So how did you experience all of this?
It's definitely a weird feeling. Like I was definitely rooting for USA. But when you see Benny score a big goal like that, you're definitely happy for him. And I definitely was. It was so fun to watch. I watched every game, every minute. Like I couldn't miss it, and it was nice having, a guy on each team to watch. Like I don't think anyone else got to see that. So, I was watching pretty carefully, and I definitely had fun watching it for sure.
Were you surprised like how much it captivated the nation? Like it felt like it was going to be a great event no matter what, but it really felt like it was at a level I don't even think the NHL expected it to be at.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, especially that, the first USA Canada game was crazy. I told my two sisters, I was like, I can't miss this game. And they're like, it's all right. It's all right. We could miss the first period or something. I was like, no way. Like, and then obviously with the way the game started, I was like, you see why I wanted to watch this now? It was funny. Like, everyone's talking about it. Like, even I went and got a haircut the other day, and they were talking about it there. And it's done a huge thing for the game. And like I said earlier, I think people are starting to realize how fun hockey really is.
Is that
Have you been in a hockey scuffle yet?
Have I?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. I'm playing with Kachuk and Bennett. I'm definitely gonna have to.
You're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does an event like that now does that become like a bucket list thing for the career? Like is that now circle? You're like, I have to be part of this at some point.
I think so. Like it definitely made me realize how cool it really was. Because we haven't had something like this for a little bit now, so you kind of forget about it, I guess, in a sense, how cool that those moments are, and hopefully that is a bucket list thing for me, and definitely one thing I'm putting on the list for sure.
I have a question for you, Maggie. If you could settle a debate that we were having earlier on the show today. So, as a new South Floridian, a guy living down here regularly, I'm sure you've been to Publix.
Yep.
If you pre-order a Publix sub, okay, and you go there, and somebody has taken said sub from the dash, but they paid for it, would you still consider that stealing because they took your sub in particular that you put an order in for?
That's a good question. I've had that done at my Chipotle. It happens all the time at Chipotle. Like people just grab the wrong bag, and it's definitely not a good feeling when you find out that you have to take a completely different bowl that you ordered from. So I consider it stealing still, even though they did pay for it.
Because you're a good person. Yeah, that's right, Leroy. Don't shake your head, Leroy. You know what you did.
Yeah.
You both do the same thing, by the way.
Listen,
I did it with cold cuts.
Stealing is when you lose something monetary.
Yeah.
So can you get arrested for it?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Okay.
But you were still wronged, Leroy.
No, I'm not doing it while the person's there. Right?
Let's give it to Leroy and see if he's happy about it later.
If I see a long line and I peruse and I just do a drive-by just to see what kind of subs are available, right? They don't know that it was made or not.
Yeah.
It's like they don't know. It's like I'm not.
It's stealing, Leroy.
It's not. And first of all, Tobin, don't say nothing, because you do it with the cold cuts.
That's way different. Because that's not anything
that's
done directly then.
Both
It's completely different. That's just convenient shopping. When you're taking, if Mackie is looking forward to his burrito at that moment, it's way different than if I were to take his rice to cook a burrito later.
If it's gone, he doesn't know whether somebody took it or it wasn't made.
Until he goes to the employee and asks, "Where is my sub?"
Guys, Mackie's a busy man. Please.
Did they remake it or what?
Yeah,
they'll remake it, but still it's wasting your time. You had a time set.
I'm curious about this.
Get the sandwich that they didn't grab and the one that's remade.
Do you at the Panthers have an employee fridge? So like we have a problem of people stealing Leroy's coffee creamer at our radio station office. So with the Panthers, is there an area where like, hey, somebody brown bagged it to the rink today, don't take their sandwich?
No. Not really. Like everything in the fridge is fair game. So, we don't have that problem around here.
Well, when you say
why would somebody bring lunch? I've eaten lunch over there.
I'm sure they have a cafeteria, but I was curious if anybody, I don't know, maybe somebody's, wife makes a mean roast con pollo and they bring it to the ring for leftovers the next day. I don't know.
Yeah, good question.
No, like, come on. Like you have to know if you're in the locker room with slobs that there's certain items you can't leave for anybody to get. They ain't gonna be there when you go look. That's just like we had a refrigerator in football camp, right? There was never anything in it. And somebody asked, "Is anybody using this refrigerator?" And one of the linemen goes, "You can use it. It's all yours." And guess what happened? Like, you know this.
Yeah.
Is there a number one food thief on the team? Is there somebody who you have to keep an eye on? Like you can't trust your food around them?
Let me think. No, I'd honestly say it's me. I've done that accidentally. Yeah.
Accidentally. Yeah, I accidentally took a sub.
On the road one time, it was like a pregame meal. And I don't think he even knows this to this day, but we do like a pasta station, and someone like makes the pasta, and
Right.
he made the pasta, and it was the same order as mine, but the guy hasn't made mine yet. So I thinking it was mine, I went and grabbed it and started just eating it, and then all of a sudden, Gruzy gets up and he's like, "Where's my pasta? Like, who ate my pasta?" And I just like turned my head, hit it a little bit. So he doesn't know, but I've done that accidentally.
Well, you don't want to take that from AJ Greer, because that is one of the guys who's going to start your first hockey scuffle.
I know.
Mackie.
Let's keep this quiet.
Hey man, it's been a thrill watching you so far this season. Yep. We're excited to see you guys get back in action. Best of luck the rest of the way. Thanks for some time.
Go Blue.
Thank you guys.